Hey, it's David Beebee, and I'm here today at Sound Effects Premiere in Ormskirk, and I have with me here my very good friend Dan Smith.
Hello.
You may recognize him from the Guitar Hour show that we do, and today we're both going to talk you through this brand new BOSS Katana Artist. This is the 100, and we're going to show you some sounds and talk about why we think that it's really worth checking out if you're looking for a very responsive dynamic amp that is not going to break the bank. So the BOSS Katana amps came out in 2016. They've taken the amp world by storm. Great sounding and affordable amps. And so what BOSS have done is they've gone away to professional players all around the world and asked them what would make that even better. They've taken all that feedback on board, and the end result is this BOSS Katana Artist, and this is the 100. So Dan and I have been playing with it for about the last hour. It sounds epic, and yeah, we're just going to talk about what makes it different and why it will be worth checking out, even if you do own a Katana already. So Dan, what are your thoughts over the last hour of playing it?
Really impressed. I think we were talking about this before, of what you look for in an amp, and I said things like, I'm a bit more real world, so I want something that doesn't weigh a lot, something that you can gig and record with at home. Basically, a lot of versatility and features without really sacrificing anything, you see what I mean?
Yeah.
It's got everything you need to do, and maybe even a bit more as well, you see what I mean?
The thing sorry man. Yeah, so one of the biggest things for me with gigging an amp is the weight of it and how much it's going to break your back load. Exactly, yeah. But there's always been sort of like this trade-off, what it feels like, where if you go with a lighter amp particularly, or a different technology, it may be that it's not getting that reaction. And
so good, feel the weight of that.
And one of the things immediately on, we're going to talk about some of the features, but one of the things immediately across all four sort of sounds or channels is that dynamic response. It does clean up with the volume. One of the other big things is when you get like an amplifier at volume, how well is it reacting, how well is it interacting with your pickups, your guitar, with pedals, all that sort of stuff. And so for me, would be the thing that would tip me over the edge to be using something like this as a main rig. If it's got the volume, and when it's at that volume, it's interacting in the way that I'm used to, and then I can lift it up, and it's not going to put me in the osteopath next week. Then that's a winner, isn't it? Really? So yeah, do you want to play through some of the sounds? And who's on? We're using a minimal setup on the floor today. We've got some pedals that we're going to try out through the front of it later on. So that's another awesome feature of this amp. And we're using a line selector, a BOSS LS2 to go through, but there's no buffers involved or anything. The signal's all clean. So we just literally, so Dan and I can switch guitars. Guitar-wise, we're using our Fibonacci Roadmasters. Dan has the T-type, I have the S-type, and they're also available at Sound Effects Premiere here. And yeah, let's get checking out some of the sounds. So we're going to start with a clean channel, on channel 1. And if you want to, you got the sound there?
Yeah.
So all the effects that you're hearing at the moment, these are actually all built in. I can't remember exactly how many it has, but it's
58.
Way well done. So dozens of like BOSS quality effects built into it. So if you just keep playing, and you can dial in delay, and this patch already has reverb saved on it. If you just play again. Gorgeous sounding reverb. Yeah. So yeah, it's got snap, response, bottom end, and
let's fiddle this one.
You're gonna get some hiss.
Okay.
But So that's what's channel 1, the clean type tone. If we do channel 2, and so this is like the crunch, so it's like the clean's just being pushed there, and we get this tone. I'll go on the bridge pickup so we get a bit of dirt humbucker. So and then that's with my volume on full, so where you can hear it sort of like breaking up a bit. There's a treble bleed on this as well, but if I roll the tone down a tiny bit. That transition there from when I was just clean, and we're actually at quite a loud volume here, so we're at not gigging volumes, but certainly, you know, if you would be competing with, you know, a small combo.
We're on 50 watts on the power control as well, so we've got. Yeah. There's still a lot to go.
So you got the standby, like half a watt, 50 watt, and 100 watts. Yeah, it's definitely transitioning nicely from that clean and breaking up into crunch land. Okay, so let's switch over to channel 3, which is the same kind of sound, but with a boosted on it. So it's got like a blues driver on it, and it's going to give it more of a lead type sound. So Dan, if you...
A delay as well?
Yeah. Yeah. Again, do you want to do that, and just do you want to use the really dig in, and I think we're going to really put this into pace. Yeah, that's what I really want to test and push this thing with, because that's, to say, the biggest thing for me as a player is that dynamic transition.
It's such a great place to live, is that middle point where, you know, if you hit it harder, you're going to get that bit of breakup and stuff. But if you back off, you don't want to be like, come on, you know what I mean? And as far as I remember from what I've played with them, and I know we've done them on this channel before, like the other BOSS katanas, and they've always responded this way. This just seems to have a little bit more. More, isn't it? With like certainly the speaker. Oh, the other thing as well, actually, which I'm not used to, is it's sitting at ear height. So, and it even sounds. Yeah, cheers, thanks. So it's sounding pleasant there as well, even at this height. It's not like tearing my ears to pieces with too shrill or too trebly. So that's the voicing of the speaker really does stand out. So we just got one more channel to do. You've won the channel lottery. You get the full shred mode.
Oh, fingers aren't warmed up enough for that. So we go with. It does that as well, which is a really great, really nice, I don't say surprise, but like, that's awesome, yeah. Very pleasing, genuine smile here. Yeah, sweet. So that's, yeah, that's the brown sound. So We all know that what that's implying, and yeah, that's incredible sound. Yeah, sweet. So, do you want to have a quick blast on that? Give us some Dan.
They don't let me have this much gain normally.
Yours doesn't do it.
Yeah, they don't let me have that much gain.
You're not allowed. I think you should be allowed game, Dan. You're very tasteful with it. Yeah. So there's single calls. They're like at AT normal. What pickups are you got there?
I've had this question before. These are actually based on Tom's old pickups. Get stick about all the time. But,
yeah. So and I've got regular kind of S-type pickups in here, and then a humbucker in the bridge, so we can get the contrasting tones there. So the other thing we really want to try out with this amp is use it as a pedal platform. It's one of those very common popular things now is to take a clean amp. I do it all the time with my rig, and I stack a load of pedals that I probably shouldn't have bought and spent too much money on in front of it, and really try and tweak and get use the clean amp as a base to get great sound out of lovely pedals. And Boss have voiced this in such a way as it plays really well with pedals, as you're about to hear. So, I'm already on the clean tone. Okay, so I'm going to be using a JHS Andy Timmons, and listen to this. That's incredible. Yeah, there's such a, this is one of my, I love this pedal, and it's, interaction with it. Pedal's still on. Yeah. Okay, so let's check out some of the hardware features that Boss have added to differentiate this from the previous Katana. We mentioned the speaker before, but what we didn't say is that they've also retuned the voices to work even better with that new Waza speaker. So the clean, the crunch, the lead and the brown all now sound even better with this new speaker. One of the other things they've added that was previously only accessible via the software is this hardware control for the line out setting. So you can have it as recorded, which is like a more direct sound. You can have it live, which is more of a roomy air sound, or you can have it as a blend, which is kind of mixing the two. And today, with what we're doing, is we actually mic'd up the speaker, but we've also taken a line out, and we're actually recording that into our hardware recorder as well. So you'll get a real nice differentiation between those different ways of it can sound.
So directly next to the line out airfield switch is this cabinet resonance. So we've got vintage, modern and deep. So vintage will give you sort of more of an airy, loose kind of sound, and then modern in the middle will give you more of a tight sort of sound, sort of tighten up a little bit. And then deep will give you a bit more bass and a bit more top. So it's preference really, but either way you're going to be heard. And it's also a semi-closed back. We didn't mention that before. Oh, and also the actual cabinet. If we pick that up, is a little thicker than the previous Katana, so it's just going to give you more of that sort of air pushing feel.
Yeah, despite still being manageable in the weight department, so it's still light. Mm-hmm. So other features then, it's got around the back, it's got MIDI in, and it's got extension cabinets out. So you can, if you've got a favourite speaker, you could also plug into that.
Which wasn't on the previous model, I believe. So this is another artist upgrade.
It's got an aux in, so you can plug your MP3 or iPod or whatever.
USB as well for recording or editing.
Yeah, it's pretty much all the I/O you could think of or wish for is on the back of this thing. There's also an optional extra, you can control it from the floor as well. So you can, select all your presets and change your sounds from the floor. Yeah, anything else you can think of, Dan?
I can't actually think of anything else that I would think, oh, it's not got that.
It is kind of like an army knife, isn't it? Like a.
Well, it's got everything. It seems like it's got everything you need for live. You can quite definitely gig with this at multiple volumes, keep up with bass players and drummers, and record with it at home.
Another thing that's really quite appealing about it as well is that you could get this feature set and this tone and keep it as a gigging, like as an affordable kind of a rig as well. And you've got the reliability aspect of it too. You're not perhaps so worried about the amp having a bit of a temperamental. So older amps can have temperamental. We were talking about this earlier on. Yeah, and that can be a bit of an issue venue to venue. And I get the impression that the reliability thing would be a big thing for me as well.
Yeah, man. If I was, it's a great amp for professionals, obviously, because I'm taking the feedback and it's made to suit gigging, working professionals in many fields. But if I was like 16 and I had like a rich dad that was like, oh, what do you want for Christmas? I'll just buy this and I'll be done for ages. Like, it's got everything.
Yeah, it really is. Trying to think of like what could you add. I'm sure the guys at Boss will think of more in the future, but this is pretty kick-ass at the moment. So Dan, if there's one thing that's going to convince you to actually use this in a rig, what would it be?
I'm going to cheat and just say versatility, because I need an amp that's sort of it's not necessarily an amp that does a lot of things, although this does do a lot of things. It's because I don't necessarily just play in one style.
Yeah, of course.
And we've talked about this kind of thing before, but the sort of modern guitar player now, it's not just gigging, it's not just recording, it's not just there's lots of different things that you can do, and having something like this, I'll be able to do them all really. So how about you?
I'm going to cheat and say kind of too quickly. The weight is light, but then the shut up, baby. The weight is really light, and also, but the most important thing is how it reacts to volume, which is what is just really, really impressing me, is that I can have it loud, high gain, roll back the volume, and it cleans up nicely. And that is one of the things that has stopped me in the past using this type of amplifier. But this is amazing at that volume, yeah. And maybe, going down that route at some point. Okay, well, I've been Dave Beebee for Sound Effects Premiere, and
Dan Smith, pleasure to be here. Been good.
Thanks for watching, guys. See you again next time.
See you later.